Hello everyone, my name is Alex and Panic, and this is another reaction to the Vinland Saga. It is episode 7, and well, we are on our journey right now, which means, at least at the moment, the journey of someone becoming an adult. Let's see. As always, if you want to see the reaction with inlaid videos, just go down to my descriptions, there's a link, and if you don't need the inlaid videos because you have the series yourself, just play it on another monitor or something like that. That much being said, here we go in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, a track. Civilians are running. Problems of war. Okay. But that's normal. Oh. Uh-oh. But that's a very typical thing which the Vikings did. They went further. Bronze. Yep. Crossbows are deadly. Damn it, yep. Seriously? They're not throwing up their stuff there. They're an army. They are fighting. But okay. Ah. We can pray. He does not really look happy. I mean, what did you expect, right? So they are still using him. Jump in. Normani. Yeah, he wants his duel. Three gold pieces. Little bastard. Okay, 3 gold is a lot, okay. He's just cutting off the Viking helmet if he doesn't look out. Yeah, he's hoping for that. Hmm. Okay, praying. That's cool. That's cool. He looks. Blah. Yeah, but they're Vikings. Yeah, he's not afraid. So weird how they portray the French aristocrat. So they have a deal. Yep, that's bad news. Yeah. Dragon moving! Ah, so nice. So they carried the ship, or what did they do? Wow. Yep, yep. Yay, slingers! Cool! Yeah, the one you can spot. A head with a helmet. They're just as good as their leader. Look at them! Yeah! Oh yeah, they put a ram in. No, they brought the whole damn ship. Wow. That's weird. That's absolutely crazy. What the heck is wrong with him? I mean, it's unlikely that they can carry him like that, but okay. Yeah, and they use it to get over the water. I see that. Okay. Whoa. Whoa, what a jump. You're in trouble now. Oh. Yep. You're screwed. Yep. You will need everything you have there. You really reached the wall. Nice. Yeah. Oh. Climb up. Yeah. Yep. And there he is. No. Ow! Cut off his fingers. Damn! Wow. Just like that. And on the wall, they have no real chance. It's just like one-on-one. No, it fell down. So he will jump after it. The size difference is a bit too much. That's not really like that, but okay. Rampage them. Chop chop! Did he just say chop chop? Yep, you're too late. There's not much left. Yep. Military tactics. Sure. Yeah, but they're not sailors, man. They took all. Feel the pain. He's wearing a crown. It's a grin. That's a lot. There he is. A head and a helmet. Ooh. Not the best timing, but, well. On a different time. No, I'm not scared. And there's the dragon. Yeah, no. No, man. I don't think the ships would have taken that, at least not so easily. But okay, okay. It was entertaining. Yeah, Skillet. You already accepted. Now what? Cool. Okay. Let's talk. What a great episode. It was entertaining especially, and I like that. So we had an agree moment, Thorfinn and Escalade, so there will be a duel. The question is when. But he agreed, so what? The episode was very entertaining, but I kind of doubt at least some of the things that happened if they would work in or had worked in the past. So I know that the Norse ships were capable of being transported by the soldiers, by the sailors. So those were strong guys, and if there were enough of them, they were able to carry one of those ships. Although normally they did it by putting, as far as I know, trees on the ground and rolling the ship over it, which was used very long in other countries as well. But the Norse ship were very light, so there were no heavy ships like a cog or something like that later on in medieval ages. Carrying them on the back, possible, but not in that speed. I mean, they were charging with the ships, and that's not working. Carrying them slowly or rolling them over, then let them water, is something that works, and I think it was a tactic that was possibly used somewhere in the past as well. So the general idea of the attack, yes. So I see that, but not the charging over the French army there. It was a bit too much, but entertaining. The other thing they, jumping with the ships down a waterfall. Depending on the size of the waterfall, possible. If it is a very small one, like a meter or maybe 2, you could say it's possible. But there was, I think, like 10 meters. I don't think the ship would have taken that. Or even if it would have survived it, it's very unlikely they would have been able to row on more neither instantly. It would have crashed down, possibly would have broken some stuff, would have to rearrange. You would have to make sure that the loot is secured beforehand, otherwise it falls overboard, all that stuff. But it is meant for entertainment purposes, so I can see what they went for. So I think generally they took some facts and possibilities from the past and just overplayed them a little bit for entertainment purposes, and I think that's okay. What I liked is that they showed the effectiveness and the craziness of of crossbows. So these guards in the city used bows at the most of the time. I think it were like short bows, maybe recurve. I have not seen any longbows, which, by the way, was a very uncommon weapon as far as I know. So a real longbow is something you need a lot, and I mean a hell of a lot of practice to use. And you can normally not use it into city defense because you need a good ground. It takes a lot of space around you to get it ready. And the main thing is really that longbowmen were highly paid specialists, and that's possibly why we didn't see any longbow there. And the most feared, as far as I know from history, was the English longbow. So the English longbowmen were known for having an incredible good precise aim, and it was said that the longbow was even more dangerous than the crossbow, and we've seen what that one can do. The difference between a bow and a crossbow is that for a bow you really need to learn how to aim, because it's the arrow is shooting straight only for a very short amount of meters or yards or whatever you count in. Waiting for the hard drive. There we go. And then it just falls down, so you have to shoot ballistic on longer ranges. While the crossbow, and that's what makes it so dangerous, is more neither like a gun a little bit. It just shoots straight for a very long range, and then it falls flat. And the crossbow is capable of penetrating armor and penetrating shields, because the velocity of the projectile is way higher. So if you have a crossbow bolt with iron tip, it is very likely that it can push through, as example, as we've seen here, chainmail. A normal arrow from a bow very often did not penetrate the chainmail. It was designed to link into each other. So I have a chainmail at home, so I kind of know at least a little bit. The chainmail parts, the rings that the chainmail is made of, are linked into each other so that a normal arrow does not penetrate it, because the head is bigger than each of the rings. There were very specific chain breaker arrowheads that were pointy and split open the ring, but those were, as I said, mainly used for longbows and stuff like that. So I think in a normal defense here, possibly not. While a crossbow bolt does not really have like an arrowhead at all. It is more like just a pointy tip and then the bolt in the back. So it, by design, pushes open those rings and crushes the interior. And due to the high velocity of the projectile, it just splits open and rips through most chainmails. I think there were some chainmails of double layered and stuff like that possibly had a chance. While a plate armor, which we have not seen here at all as example, couldn't withstand a crossbow bolt either. So, deadly weapon. Additionally to that, saying it shoots a little bit like a gun, the crossbow just shoots straight, so even untrained guards, warriors, even peasants could use a crossbow. It's just, you just aim, you shoot, and it strikes straight into where you aim for. and reloading is just, you know, lifting up the lever and putting in another bolt. So it's way more easy, while the bow, you need to aim higher, aim lower, check out what the wind is like, all this stuff. So they showed that very much, and even Askeladd said, okay, we will lose more men. They have crossbows, we will lose more men. We've seen it in the beginning when they were with Ram at the front of the door, that they just pierced through shields, through armor, through this, through the bones and everything. They just eradicated the attackers. So the same would have happened with Askeladd's troops, at least a lot of them. But Thorfinn jumped in, so he was lucky. And he cannot, once again, not really prove it, so he does not get the praise for what he does as he should. Not that I want him to get praised for killing people, but he took a lot of the burden there. He sliced through the enemies on the top of the wall, and that is something else I wanted to state out. So he's using daggers. Daggers were mainly used as secondary weapons, as far as I know. So it's more like you lost your sword, then you use a dagger, because you do not really have much range with a dagger. It's normally in equally good fighters, the one with daggers should lose, because you don't get close enough and you get cut away by a sword or whatever the enemy is using before reaching your destination. Here we have the difference. Thorfinn is clearly better than the enemies. And he uses the big advantage of the top of the wall. They are not able to form a group. They are not able to form like a spear wall, as we've seen a little bit later on. On top of the wall, there are two, maximum of three, fighting against him. Due to the fact that on the one side they have the wall, on the other side there's just a huge gap falling to the ground. They cannot move as they would normally to evade. And they are, as it seems, not really trained into fighting with each other, defending each other, helping each other out. So they were very much, I guess, stopping each other from attacking, from evading, causing more trouble. And as one with daggers, he just jumped in between them, and then he has the upper hand. Because as soon as he's in brawl range, he just wins, because you cannot swing a sword or a mace or anything when you're that close to each other. Then the range is a problem for you, and the one with the daggers wins, as we've seen. And he sliced through it instantly. So clearly his range he wants to go for. Same, by the way, will go when if he ever should fight against Askeladd. The moment he is close in, it should be a more easy win. But then, don't forget, Askeladd has seen him fight in the past. He saw him grow up, so he very much knows how Thorfinn is fighting, what to look out for. They got a bit of the problem when you have free mercenaries like the pirates here, like the Vikings. The war, England versus Denmark, the Danish people, was put to a hold, but just by winter. So, a very common thing, even nowadays, I guess. If there's a war, it depends very much. Is it winter? Is it summer? When can we go? When not? So the Danish should be way more used to fight in the cold, I guess, than the English. Although those know that a bit as well. But the king agreed to stop his soldiers for a moment, to let them rest, to let them catch their breath, repair their equipment and everything, you know, and go on again in summer. Which means for the army, cool, free time. For the free mercenaries, like the Vikings here, it's more of a problem, because you still have mouths to feed, you still need to do something, so even in winter. That being said, as far as I know, and I have not studied that, but as far as I know, the Vikings, this, what we've seen in the beginning, a small village has one warship, and this ship was going out to pillage and plunder, and it did that in the time when there was not much work to do at home. So the idea was, in general, if there's work to do at home, like putting out crops or bringing in crops, they were at home. The time when they couldn't do anything, winter, they went out. So this Vikings arriving in the winter is, I guess, not such an uncommon thing. They just had to watch out that they're able to sail, that there's not too much ice. And then they plundered every coastal village, and yes, they plundered coastal cities as well. This was a small one. There was no city here, but there is this. There was a plundering of Paris, as far as I know, by Vikings, which sailed up the Seine, multiple boats, and no one expected that, right? I mean, if you check on the map where Paris is, it's so deep inland. You would never guess a Viking attack to appear there by ship. And that's what they used for the benefit, because those ships are pretty fast. So no one informed them fast enough. There was no messenger from the coast like, oh yeah, there are some ships sailing to Paris. Better get the guards up, I guess. So very much that's what they showed here again. If you're not paying them to fight for you somewhere, then they will just pillage everywhere else. And I was kind of thinking, would they go for Danish coasts? But they didn't, because I guess that would be a bit too much. I like that they showed the differences in languages. So, is anyone speaking Norse? Right? No one is. So you need someone who translates for you. I'm a bit grumpy about how they showed the French general, who, I mean, come on, it's very, very much of portraying the character as he looks. So they make him greedy and a bit fat and a bit small and way too huge mouth. So that reminds me very much about there are those cartoons that they did in medieval ages to make people look bad. And it is like one of those, because everyone else has kind of the same stature and size and height and everything, but he is this little mean trolley dwarven thing. Nah, I don't think it's necessary. Sorry, but I really think it's not necessary to do something like that. I know what they wanted to do with it, and sure, they did that, and it worked, but yeah. I think this series is better than that. Can do better. The dragon on the mountain, yes, it's one of the reasons why they have a dragon head on top. It's a mythical thing for them, but sure, some people were afraid of it, I'm pretty sure. A sailor on land is like a baby. So, yes, that may be partially true. But it is more the other way around. If you're fighting as a warrior, as a soldier, whatever, on land, you have your level of what you're able of doing, right? And when you fight on board of a ship, you realize there are differences on a ship, because it's moving weird, so your footwork is not as good as it normally is. Some weapons are way worse on a ship, so everything with extreme range will not work as good anymore. So like a halberd or stuff like that. And armor is dangerous on a ship, because why kill you if I can just push you overboard and you sink to the ground and drown? Because your chainmail is wearing you down. Even saying whatever armor, maybe you're not even capable of swimming, so just push you overboard at all, right? So it's more this way around, that a soldier fighting on land was often worse on a boat. A sailor from a boat, if he has a knack for fighting and he was used to fighting, would be worse on land. Yes, I can see that, because he has different kind of weapons and armor, lower armor, less armor, because he does not equip stronger armor generally. So he's more like a light infantry. But that being said, it might be true for the most, but clearly not for the Vikings. Those guys were feared for good reason. Those were just going berserk everywhere. And they took all the treasure. I'm not surprised. I mean, come on. What did you expect? That being said, that's it for this time. I hope you liked. I did for sure. And I will see you in the next episode. Until then, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. My name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye. And out.